Welcome to 90 Day Fiancé Trash Talk, episode 7. Ooh. I'm your host, comedian Tracey Carnazzo, and I'm joined here by very special guests. I'm really excited. We've been mixing it up a lot, so that's a really fun thing. We have comedian Ruppert.
Hello.
That's Caitlin. And we have Rosa Escandon.
Ooh, except I feel like everyone else was like comedian. And it's like, and Rosa Escandon, trash monster.
She's just a regular person. She's definitely, no, she's a comedian. We're all comedians. We're all here to make fun of this entire show. This is something that has bonded us all in the comedy community. It's bonded us all in the regular community. It is bringing people together.
For 90 days, exactly.
For
We're getting out of the country.
For 90
on
days.
Grocery lines, in the back of cabs, everybody.
It's really cool, though, because I feel like, my mom got me hooked on the show. How did you get hooked on the show, Caitlin?
So I was actually hooked on it from the very beginning. We were watching, me and my old roommate, we were watching some trash TV.
Right.
And then her roommate comes in, or her old roommate comes in, and she's like, you guys have to watch this show 90 days. She's like, you will love it. And I'm like, I'm down. And she put it on and I was like, oh my God.
Isn't it? It's like the nicest moment when you first discover something that you love.
Yeah.
Rosa, how do you find out about the show? Like, what was your, do you remember your first kiss with it?
Must have been in college because we would like watch, and so that's probably like season 2. We would
Right.
just like every once in a while, like we would just turn on TLC because
Were you young? Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say you're showing your very young age.
Yes.
I was in college 25 years ago. No.
I'm 25 years old, meaning I was in college 3 years ago.
That's beautiful.
You're like
Yeah,
10
so,
years
like,
younger than me and Tracy.
That's so beautiful.
I'm a wonderkind. What can I
What's
say?
it like to still love life?
What's it like to
So you're in college, you're discovering this, you're discovering life in general.
Yeah, and I had this roommate, and he bought cable, which
Right.
I thought was like the craziest
Wild.
thing. Like, what are you
Was he
doing?
rich?
Clearly.
No, he was just bad with money.
Okay.
And like,
He just made poor choices.
he just made bad choices, and he like we would just like sit on the couch in the summer because I would stay in Philly and like work like BS jobs in the summer,
Right.
And we would turn on like whatever was on TLC,
Yeah.
and I watched an episode of this, and I was like, holy crap, the best.
You loved it.
I loved it. I mean, I think my number one will always have to be Say Yes to the Dress because
Okay, that's an oldie but a goodie.
it's still on. It will
I
be
think that's what
on
we were
forever.
watching when her friend
Really?
came in and was like, no, you need to watch
Say
90
Yes to
Day
the Dress
Fiancé.
is such a great show because you feel like maybe only women like it.
I don't
And then
like
you
it.
find out that any boyfriend I've ever had is like, oh, she can't wear strapless.
Me and my mom share a Hulu account. Actually, she pays for a Hulu account.
And you
That's
have
what
it.
you meant.
I should say it real. And like, so you know how like when you watch something on Hulu, it tells you like
Yes.
where you are. My mother on season 13 had watched every single Say Yes to the Dress, and I am like still reeling from that. I don't know what to do with it. Oh.
My mother is obsessed with Say Yes to the Dress. This is her favorite show ever. She will call me and talk about it like I know what's happening.
My mother lives in California. When she was here, I like walked her past Kleinfeld's Bridal to see the witness.
I went to Kleinfeld's. My best friend got married. She hosts this podcast too sometimes, Noelle Winters. She got married September 22nd. And so last year we were wedding dress shopping and we went to Kleinfeld's. And did I hang out with Randy? Maybe. Maybe I did. Is there a picture of that on my Instagram at Trixie Tuzzini, Trixie Tuzzini? Maybe.
You can't see my face, but my jaw is agape.
Yeah.
I don't watch the
is-
show. I don't know these things. I'm not excited like you guys.
Randy-
God.
Randy is the king of dresses.
Oh.
I would
Randy's
say.
the guy.
Is he gay?
Obviously, he's
Okay,
gay.
of course he is.
He's a bridal dress guy.
He's a bridal dress
honey.
designer and then now he runs Kleinfeld, but he also has his own line of dresses.
It would be
Oh.
amazing if one of the Say Yes to, like, if there was a crossover episode like 90 Day Fiancé, but it was like on
Why
Say
don't
Yes.
they have
Why?
gay 90 Day Fiancé people? Is that a thing? Can you do that yet?
Gay 90 Day
Like,
Fiancé?
can you get a 90 Day
Yeah,
Fiancé for like a gay marriage?
You can. I actually have friends who like are going through the green card process through
Right.
marriage right now.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry. And I was talking. So we had a going away party for one, like the one who's from Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And like he's going away. He has to go back to Australia for a couple months before his visa gets approved and he can come back. And I was talking about like this show because I was like, is it like 90 Day Fiance? Right. And they were like, oh, getting a K1 is actually the harder way of doing it. There's an easier way of doing it, but it takes longer. Like
the spousal visa.
Yes.
If you're
the
Australian,
K1 is,
though, that's why. This person's Australia. Australia has an easier.
It's the same, though. This getting a marriage visa, it's the same as like most countries.
Interesting.
Yeah, but the K1 I guess is actually harder. We got into like a deep discussion about this because I was like, is it like 90? Also, they like marry
every
for
time
love
I meet
and the
someone.
Right reasons, but
when I'm doing stand-up comedy, if anyone's from another country, I'm like, were you on 90 Day Fiance? Did you ever think about being on 90 Day Fiance? Like, I will do this constantly. So we're here to talk about Ready to Run. Yeah. So I used to say this is season 6. The episodes are different on the app than on the TV.
Oh yeah, it's very confusing. I don't.
So the numbers
why.
are different. That's why I just go by the titles now. I used to do like episode 6, season,
But this is episode 7 or 8, depending. Because there's an episode 0, which doesn't get input.
But there's
like
also
0.
the episodes. The ones that screw you up are the 90 Day Live.
Oh,
on the app they give them an episode number, and I can't stand Michelle Collins, so I can't recap those.
Also, they're bad.
They're very
always bad.
They're very bad.
Sorry.
We need to be hosting them.
Yes. If we hosted them, they might be okay, but I still truly believe that they are a bad premise because I don't want all the couples there at once if you don't let them fight. Like, they just, like the couples just like are in like those weird reaction shots and they won't let them like come and punch someone. Like if you're gonna
and they cut them off. They cut them off too soon. Cut them off. Let them fight.
Let them fight. I don't want all the couples to just be hanging out watching other couples. That's stupid.
I totally agree with you. We're going to start with Colt and Larissa.
Okay.
Who
I wrote down everybody's names just because I was so worried about.
I know, it's funny how you could watch a show and be so involved, and then like my mom, when I speak to her, she's like, I don't know, the Vegas people, and it's like you have spent like 10 hours of your life just watching them and you don't know their names, and it just, I don't know, it hurts my feelings.
I just described that. Like, she's nice, she's calling them the Vegas people. I would be like, so there's the schlubby guy and then his like the Brazilian wife who has too much plastic surgery. Like, I described them too long, so the Vegas people works.
I don't think she has enough plastic surgery personally, but Colt thought that proposing to Larissa would end the fighting, like it does.
Yeah.
You know, like when you have a baby and you fix the marriage.
Of course, that's how that works.
That's how it goes. And we see her in the car, which is what I like to call the chamber of death.
Honestly, okay,
melting.
Every man on this show gaslights the woman they're with that like basic things that people should have are out of bounds.
Yeah.
And I watch it and I'm like, no.
He's like, you want to wear shoes on your feet?
Yeah.
Not in America.
You want to have a couch in a living room?
No, thank you.
I don't know how it is in Indonesia, but here in America, we don't have couches. It's like, what are you doing?
And they do. They make it sound like everything is like, well, you were spoiled in your car. Oh, you could actually.
They gave you 3 meals a day.
In a car? What?
Okay.
You could roll down.
Why don't you roll down the window?
Okay. So every single episode, no matter who is on the episode, I need to talk about this every single episode.
Okay, fair.
Could you imagine being in Las Vegas?
No.
In a car?
No.
With no air conditioning, with the windows rolled up. Okay, but Larissa almost deserves an award. And you know what? Colt deserves the same award because he's still alive.
Colt doesn't sweat, and it makes me
why doesn't he
worried
sweat?
about him. I think
I sweat in the winter.
I sweat all the time.
I'm sweating right now.
I've had that thing like Tracey knows this. I've had the thing done on my armpits where you don't sweat anymore.
The lasers?
Yeah. So I call it.
How was
I
that?
microwaved my armpits. Oh, it was the most painful thing in the world. If you do not getting it done, the aftermath was if you don't have hypohidrosis, which is like actually
the crazy sweating,
you over sweat, don't get it done. But if you do, it's life changing. Like I'm so.
Do you think that Colt had this on every single area of his body?
Well, you can get it on other areas.
See, I would want it on my face because that's where actually the majority, like my armpits are.
You can't get it on your face.
I don't know if you can get it on your face. You can get it on your hands.
Yeah,
you can get it on your back.
I have a bad back sweat problem.
Colt needs to get. I mean, maybe he's had this head to toe because I don't understand. Listen, he
also has the man boobs. He has the condition.
Are they even man boobs at this point?
No,
or
I think they are.
They're just
no, but it's a condition where you're because like men are supposed to have men technically have boobs anyway.
Right.
It's just if you have more.
I think he just has a great rack.
I mean, maybe that's why he doesn't sweat too. Maybe he has so much estrogen he doesn't sweat and he has boobs.
I have to say
have enough estrogen.
The estrogen thing, because I truly believe that like if like a lot of his body seems like he has too much estrogen. And is it from being too much of a mama's boy? Is that a medical thing that we can prescribe?
You know what, though? I don't know, because every Italian man in the world would have giant boobs if that was true.
Well, because it's also his weird patchy beard, his no chin. Like, all of those are like an estrogen, like things.
Well, she's putting hormones in all that stew she's giving him.
Oh, man.
She's sneaking it right
Debbie
in there.
stew. You know, I've been making like soup.
Debbie.
I had a cold a few weeks ago, and I've been making soup, and every time I make the soup, I just think of Deb. I'm like, I wish she was here to make
can we talk about something real quick with this particular episode?
Absolutely.
Having to do with Cold Larissa, because I could not. I watched this twice, and I could not focus the entire time because I thought Kim the realtor looks like she does porn in those houses.
Okay, I don't know what's happening with the realtor
with the pearl necklace, like choker, and
she looks like and now this is not even shaming sex workers. She looks like a sex worker.
She does.
That also does like a little bit of real estate on the side.
I also like to think that she is indeed shooting the porn.
She is shooting the porn
in the houses.
Yeah, which is
because you notice that she pointed out it had a big bed. How does she know how great that bed is? Because she's been fucking in it.
She's like, actually, I made 2 videos on this bed.
I don't want to get too in the weeds of just explaining what happens in the episode. Is they look at houses,
right? So they're going to look at a 1-bedroom, which is obviously not going to fit Debbie in it. Because it's a 1-bedroom. And I found out that they're renting that house that they have right now.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Which is like $3 in Vegas.
Yeah.
I have to say, the thing that for me was the wildest thing about that scene.
Yes, tell me.
Other than the porn realtor. Yeah. Okay. She tells them how much it costs.
I can't.
And she's like, it's $3,000 with the furniture.
$3,250 a month with the furniture.
Or $16,000 without.
$1,650 without.
Why would you ever get that furniture? What is this magic? What is
you have furniture?
Okay, but also
buy furniture.
How long do you pay off that furniture for? Forever?
Yeah.
Indefinitely?
Because it's not your usually.
What if you're there for 4 years?
But that's the thing. It's a thing in the Virgin Islands where because people are they're always coming in and leaving a lot. So you should always get a furnished apartment because you're probably going to leave in a year. They're not leaving. What they already live there.
It's not like they're getting it for 6 months or
they already live there. They have furniture.
Like he has a good.
Do they have furniture? What are they going to take the camo recliner?
Wait,
yeah, they don't.
Caitlin.
Wait, didn't they get a couch though? Because when they were showing,
they got a couchie.
They got a couchie.
A couchie.
Biggie. Yeah, but
Colty got a couchie.
Colty got a couchie and he was sitting on it in his chancletas.
Well, I love that when they're showing the apartments. It's apartment number 320, and she's like, "Oh, 320 is my number." She's so funny.
She's so funny.
I hated her so much.
I love what she said about Debbie. She's like, Debbie's like a cat.
Oh my God.
It was the Debbie's like a cat. She disappears, then reappears to make your life hell.
That was the classic quote of that.
I actually kind of like her. So here's the thing. There is always money grubbers on every single episode. Like in every season, there's someone who's a money grubber. Her, I love because what she asks for is like both insano and then very, very normal.
Totally.
Also.
So it's like, I want curry. I want very biggie curry where I talk and it talks back to me. And I also just want air conditioning.
Yeah. She could probably just stop it.
She's like, I also just want an IKEA couch, if you don't mind. Yeah. Can we just have a gray couch? And Debbie's like, I don't like gray.
Well, the other thing that makes me so annoyed in all of these episodes, because we see it later with Leida and or I can't remember where it is that in the
probably Leida and Eric. I hate
Leida
those
and Eric.
two.
But like what ends up happening is they go to the most expensive furniture place. Like I have my furniture from Bob's Furniture, and I'm like, it doesn't cost that much.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have to get to that.
We're gonna get to that.
Okay. I'm gonna shelf it because I have too much.
But it's in all the couples. All the couples go shopping.
But I think that's a thing that the producers.
I think
do.
the producers are.
So she says, that he's like, it's a lot of money, and she's like, but if you had to pick.
Yeah.
She's ridiculous, but he's ridiculous. They're looking at, like, they have like a modest regular house, right? That they could have another one of those for another $3. Yeah. And now they're like, no, we're going to look at a loft, like downtown Vegas.
There's no reason.
They go from one end to $3,200 a month for rent in Vegas is like the mortgage of a mansion.
Yeah.
I also I just think that he is a 33-year-old man, and he's like well, I have to live with my mother.
Right.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
Now-
why?
Well, the other thing is he says to her, he's like, I would never ask you to choose between your mother and me. He did.
Yeah, but she said-
she left her country with all her family
And then she
to go
said,
there.
but if you had to pick.
But if you had to pick.
That's why she's so funny.
Yeah.
His mom is apparently disabled.
They say that a lot. And here's the thing. I'm sure it's to
I've
the point
seen her
that
fan
Yeah, she was fanning herself with the handicap pass. She was dying in the car.
And but here's the thing. If you have a disabled mother, why do you not have air conditioner in your car?
Right.
Like,
But also now I'm not
what's
saying
her
that Deb isn't
disability?
disabled because obviously there's something going on.
Yeah.
But she can drive. She can make
Yeah.
stew.
But disabled sometimes just means you can't stand for too long.
Sure.
Or like you have to be
Or
closer to the
Or you
where
could
you're-
die in no air conditioning.
Or you could
something
die
like
in no air
that.
conditioning.
Also, like, she's obviously mobile around her own house.
Sure.
Like, she
She
doesn't
cooks dinner and everything.
She doesn't need a live-in
He's not
person.
He's not home.
He also doesn't
Yeah.
help her.
Sure.
In any way. He makes her life more difficult because
Yeah.
she makes him food. She drives
She
him
makes
to
him the
work.
cauliflower
She does
hash.
this. Like,
She makes him the no carb breakfast. She makes him the stew. I totally get it.
she does his laundry. Like, he's the burden to her.
He's
not
handicapped.
taking care
He's
of his mother.
disabled.
I have to say, maybe I'm gonna get some
Do it.
side eyes on this one. Is he autistic?
Is
Oh,
he-
for sure.
Because he seems like he might be,
'cause he doesn't
and it
look anybody in the eye.
explains a lot.
There's something going on.
There's
There's something
something
going on, definitely. I don't think that that's side eye at all. I think that's just an
Yeah. I mean, my
observation.
dad
No, because I
was
feel like
autistic.
people
That's
are like,
fine.
what an armchair like person
This
coming
is-
in here to
so
say.
this podcast is called 90 Day Fiance Trash Talk.
Yeah.
Trash.
You do it. So Deb said that she would have to find a senior place to live, so some kind of like assisted living or
But she would
a
love
senior
it. She would
community.
have somebody to finally talk to.
Thank you.
But
I
also,
think it's a great
I feel
idea.
She should
like
do
she
it.
doesn't actually need that, and that's just her saying it to like be like, oh, I'd have to go. Like, you could live anywhere. Honestly, like you're
Yeah.
not.
Also, she's
You're
66, right? My mom is 1 year younger than her.
Yeah.
My mom works a full-time job and is like a regular
Yeah,
aged person.
Yeah, my aunt does too. It's like,
My like grandparents don't even live in a like
Right.
assisted living.
But I don't
no
know.
one
I don't
in
know
my
what
family
her-
has ever lived in an assisted living.
Maybe her
facility.
disability is that she can't live alone. I don't know.
Who knows? And hey, if she was also like not doing all his chores and
Yeah.
his work
Sure.
and then I'd be like, oh, maybe she isn't like great at like
Right.
keeping a house by herself. Like, who knows?
I'm sure she feeds Cookie Dookie.
Yeah, she does everything. She does everything.
Let's move on to Ashley and Jay.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, so he takes her car and he's driving around. So I wasn't sure if, a lot of these people, when they come to the U.S., I'm not sure if they're driving or not, because some of them don't drive and then some of them do drive. But he does. Jay drives.
Yeah.
And he messages like random girls, she claims. And he does something really weird, and he tries to make her like she's crazy for asking it,
Yes,
but
right.
he leaves the house without telling her, like, hey, I'm running out to the store,
Or even
and
just
then
being like, hey, I'm
Yeah.
gonna step out for a while.
going outside.
Like my roommate tells me.
Yes, and
if
that's what
he's
I was going to
leaving.
say. Like,
That's
you,
weird.
when you're in a room with someone, when you leave the
Yeah.
room, you announce the leaving.
And then he says it's a Jamaican. I lived in the Caribbean. Like, granted, I didn't live in Jamaica. I lived in St. Croix, but like
It's not a Jamaican.
it's not a Jamaican
It's a weird thing.
He's making that up.
I have friends who are Jamaican and they've never just like left my house without.
That's
saying
an Irish
goodbye.
thing, actually.
Yeah.
That's an Irish
Yeah.
goodbye.
Oh, that is an Irish
goodbye.
thing. I can
That's-
feel that.
That's called a drunk thing.
He's confused. He's Irish.
But then
goodbye.
you shouldn't drive if you're
Well-
drunk enough to just walk out of the room. Even the
Yeah, but
Irish know.
But in
that you sleep
Jamaica,
in your car.
it's different in Jamaica. So
Oh,
he,
yeah, we do
he
drive
did
back
apologize,
all the time.
and he cooked her dinner, and she really enjoyed the dinner. So they made up,
Yeah.
and now they're gonna have a barn wedding.
Yeah.
Did you?
She seems like she would though. Have a
She wants a
bar.
bar. She absolutely. She has live, laugh, love signs in her
Oh, she does.
house.
Oh,
She's that girl.
She
She's
is
that girl.
so that girl that it honestly like hurts a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
She's not rich enough to have a horse, but if she did, she would have.
Oh, I don't
she
think
would
it's. I
horse
don't think it's
girl.
a rich thing. I think it's a tacky thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's more of like a Pinterest. Like, I have to keep up my appearance, but it's like
Yeah.
actually the appearance that I'm keeping up is just white trash.
Yeah.
I.
It's like a fancy
nouveau
white
trash.
Yes, it's a fancy white trash. Exactly, nouveau white trash.
Here's the thing. My cousins had a barn wedding, and it was actually really beautiful. And
They're
I was
really
like, "Oh,
pretty.
gorgeous! Like, great." But they live in Minnesota. Like,
Sure.
that's how big.
Well,
that's like
she lives in Pennsylvania.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
get it. At the same time, if I was like marrying someone from like another country
Right.
and planning it all. Because like she says that she planned everything before he got there, which is honestly smart as hell because most couples don't do that.
Sure.
And then
No,
they have
I
to
think
do
she's
all the
very
wedding
well
stuff.
And then they're
together.
like, wait a minute.
And
We're
they're
going to
like,
get married real quick, right?
we have to do
Yeah.
everything in 30 days and I'm puking. It's like
Yeah.
always like people who are like, I didn't know flowers took more than a week to
Right.
make. And it's like, okay, bros, like honestly, you should have planned this better.
Or
But
hire a
Did you?
wedding
Well, he
planner.
said that the only thing he knows about the wedding is that he has to wear a red tux, and she's like, "It's fucking maroon." She's
That's
like,
bullshit. They have a whole website that somebody eventually goes on. He could have looked at that friggin' website
Listen,
himself.
he's not looking at the
He's not looking
website.
at the damn website.
Did you see in the barn? Okay, we're in the
Yeah.
barn. There, if you look on the screen, if you look to the right, there were bathrooms, and they were just swinging doors, and one of them said women, and one of them said men. It looked like almost like there might just be a bucket in
I
there.
remember seeing that and thinking, because I think I only saw 2, and I'm like, would they have like extra bathrooms? Like, would they come in with the, you know?
Yeah, I
I feel
don't-
like 150 people can be here, and then your cash bar. He says cash bar. I think
Oh,
at some point.
did you die with
Oh,
the
the
cash
cash
And
bar?
I was
bar.
like,
did
she's
you
a
die with the cash bar?
freaking bartender. Get it
Yeah.
the
She
fuck
can't afford it.
together.
She's been engaged twice. She had she paid for, I think the second wedding was paid in full or something.
Oh, I'm sure.
So, she's not really
At that
doing
point,
well.
just
She's got
like
2
do it
kids.
by
None
yourself.
of these people are doing. None of them have money.
So
Because it wouldn't be funny. Like, this show wouldn't be good if any of them had enough money to actually promise, like, the life that they promised to these
Absolutely.
people in other countries. Like, if it's just, like, a really rich guy from, like, the closest I feel like
I think
to
Jonathan
that
does all right.
is, yeah, John and Fernanda. Because, like, they
Yes.
don't seem to really have money troubles. John seems to be doing fine.
right, they're
and,
like regular. They're the most normal in here.
Yeah.
So people
Which is
go-
crazy because she's 19 years old. I'm sorry.
They're
Like,
they're 100% the most normal
normal
couple.
one.
So people go to the wedding website that you were talking about, Caitlin,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they write. Someone makes all these accounts and writes hundreds of comments.
Yeah.
And every single one of them has the N word in it.
I think it's the friend.
I think that you think that it's
I kind of think it's a friend. I don't dislike
Natalie.
her though. I don't dislike Natalie. I liked her when she was going away in her little scoot
right.
later
Yeah.
after the fight. She's like,
I
but I think she's justified, honestly, because I think the other thing is I think she knows more than they're putting on the show.
Okay, so
because I think
obviously
she does know
everything's-
that he cheated.
Sure, everything's edited, but here's the bottom line. If I tell you 5 times that he cheated and you're
Yeah.
like, I don't care,
I would
then
drop it. Yeah, no,
Yeah, then you
should
just drop it and you're like, all right,
But I'm
great, you
sure
love
this
being
is
cheated on.
probably something that because she's been engaged twice. This is probably something that poor Natalie has had to deal with the entire friggin' time.
I see that.
She's probably
but
been through
she's
so much.
I don't know. She's so insane.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
Natalie. I think it's probably one of the exes. I'm gonna bet. I'm
Okay,
gonna
so
bet.
I
on
don't
one
think
of
it's
those
Natalie because I
first
think
two.
that's too obvious.
Okay, maybe.
And also,
also-
I don't think Natalie is that
Natalie
not
seems
that mean.
I feel like I feel like it has to be someone who's really okay with like an insane amount of racism, and
Yes.
like I feel like Natalie
That's
could get
true.
a little
I don't
racist.
know.
No,
but
because Natalie was also, remember something, Natalie was down there when they
She
went to
was in
Jamaica.
Jamaica.
She was in
Yeah.
Jamaica and she was dating one of his friends.
Yeah.
So really, I mean, listen, I'm not
I thought
saying
that she was just trying to like stop the wedding.
No.
That's why I think. She
I feel
did
like it
But-
has to have someone with a little bit better hate, because then I think the other like to go
That's
that
true.
deep, I think you need to have a little bit. Like
Right.
I wouldn't do that.
like someone
I
said,
don't know.
one of the comments was, "The South will rise again." Like this is beyond Natalie being like, "You should have married
Yeah.
this guy. He cheated on you."
Also, I feel like I'm gonna guess that one of her exes is a racist. Because they're
I would
from
assume.
Pennsylvania.
They're
one
from
of them's
Mechanicsburg,
gonna be.
Pennsylvania.
Didn't one of them like used to abuse her or something?
Yes.
Wasn't that the thing? So like, I mean, that person. Is
I feel it
obviously
has
crazy.
to be, even if it's not one of the ones that she like canceled the wedding with. But I feel like an ex. This
Yeah.
feels like an
Yeah.
ex. This feels like a Mechanicsburg
And it
ex.
also
Sure.
feels
to
like
me.
she doesn't pick winners. So I
Exactly.
don't think.
So,
I actually like Jay. It's just I feel like
he's 20.
He's
every
funny.
well, and I feel like also every time it's like the issue is like, hey, we live in a small town and I have 2 kids. Like it's the majority of the relationship
Yeah.
drama comes from those 2 kids, and like is he
Sure.
going to be a good dad? And because that they won't let the kids on camera, we get to see absolutely none of him.
Right, we
being a
have no
dad.
clue what the interactions
And
like.
I don't
Yeah.
think he'd be a good one. Like I think I
Oh,
would
no,
hate
you're
him more
not.
if
He's
we
20.
showed.
Wait, does she have
children.
kids?
She has
She
two
has 2
kids,
kids.
but they're not allowed to be on camera ever.
Oh,
She doesn't
but
want
are
them
they
on camera.
there?
They're there,
Oh,
but
okay.
I guess
They just
they
can't be on
film.
camera.
They probably are at the father's when they film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he's upset. He wants to go home.
And they never talk about the kids, which is weird too. They're not like
they don't really refer.
mention,
Well, they mentioned them the first episode, and they had a picture
Well,
of
that's why I
her
didn't
with
even
them,
remember.
and they blurred the kids' faces out
Faces
just to
out.
prove that they were real.
And then they had a really weird photo of like her walking with their hands in the back, so it's just her and like two little girls' backs.
Yeah.
And
Very, very
it was
strange.
strange.
So let's just take this time real quick to plug anything that you want to plug, Caitlin, Rosa. So Caitlin, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at Caitlin Ruppert, CAITLIN RUPPERT, and it's the same on Twitter except for backwards, Ruppert Caitlin. And I guess should I plug a show?
Absolutely,
Okay,
if you'd like to.
I think the show I'd plug is I have a show coming up at Stonewall on the 5th. So that should be good.
Cool.
I think it's at 7:30.
Awesome. So that's in New York City. That's Stonewall, legendary bar.
Yes.
Awesome
Legendary
show.
gay bar.
And what time is that?
7:30.
Cool.
Cool. When is this coming out?
This is coming out today.
Oh, wow. Okay. What? I'm very bad and I forget always when my shows are
That's
coming
okay.
up.
Do you have some social media?
But you
People are
should
gonna
find me
wanna
on
follow
social
you.
media and I'll probably post all about where you can see me.
Awesome.
And it's at Human Comedian.
Wow. Okay, cool. And that's on Twitter and Instagram.
Twitter and Instagram. And I have a website, rosaescandon.com.
Cool.
That's probably the easiest way
Awesome.
to find me.
Let's talk about Jonathan and Fernanda.
Yeah.
Our
Wait,
favorite.
Can I just, before we move on?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I just say how many UTIs she must have?
With the sex 5 million times a minute?
Like literally, I cannot.
Oh, Ashley?
I've been so fixated on how many UTIs Ashley must get.
She is a UTI.
She is.
She is.
Okay,
she's
we can move on now.
Anyway.
She's on an
I
IV
just wanted
as
to
we
touch
speak.
on that real quick, guys.
So Jonathan and Fernanda, so she's going to go wedding dress shopping with his sister Jackie, and
I love Jackie.
I love Jackie.
I love Jackie.
The- the
perfect.
mom. Jackie's
The mom's
fine.
such a
Jackie's
bitch.
22 and she's
like
fine.
the
She's
best.
like, yeah.
She's also the best sister I think we've seen because like she supports her brother. She
Yeah.
has her reservations. She tries to be nice
like,
though.
"All right."
Like I
Yeah,
think
she's like, I wouldn't want to get married if I was 19. Just saying, I don't really care what you
I
do.
think she's
Bye.
also hilarious. Like the entire
Yeah.
interaction with her and her mom, she's like cracking jokes, and she's like, "No, okay." Like she is like trying, and like every time she's around, she like makes a joke, and then they're like, "I'm like, we could be friends. Like I could be friends with her for sure."
Yeah, she's very
I
funny.
just love her. I think she's cool and like she rocks. And we usually have like the world's worst siblings on the
Yes.
show. Like usually I'm just like,
Yeah.
shut the fuck up. You're like a bad sibling.
Yeah.
We'll get to Kalani's sister later.
Oh, dear.
But
Oh my
like,
god, I love Kalani's sister though. She's gorgeous, and I want to have sex with her. And I know you guys don't think she's pretty.
oh no, I think she's really pretty.
We'll get there.
Kalani's
Pretty.
is Kalani. It's
Kalani.
Kolani.
Kalani.
Kalani and Kalani.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's gorgeous. I just like
Yeah, I think
find
she's
her
so
annoying.
Same. So his mom was shocked that they were going wedding dress shopping. Why?
Well, because he didn't like freaking tell his mom he was even
Okay,
engaged.
but do you really? He did though. She knew. She found it on
Facebook.
but that was a long time ago. That was when he
guess.
started
Yeah.
the K1 visa process.
I think she's just in denial.
I think
That's
it's
it.
been a year because remember he
Jesus.
got engaged around Christmas, right?
Yeah.
But then when they went to Myrtle Beach when she moved here, it was cold out.
Yeah.
So now this is a different winter,
True.
Yeah.
guys.
No, she knows.
They're getting married. Okay.
Yeah.
What a hero she showed up.
She
She showed up to the wedding dress. Thank you so much for being a regular person.
That was the thing that broke my heart too, because like I've lived in I lived in Australia for a year as an au pair, and like when you're away from your
Yeah.
family, when you don't have like it's so like I feel so bad for Fernanda just because like I know it's so lonely, it's so isolating,
Right.
And then here's this woman that's supposed to be her like kind of substitute mom, and she's being
Right, like she could,
terrible.
and Fernanda's such a sweet girl that it's like, why wouldn't you like her?
Right.
Fernanda is honestly one of those people that I'm like, she's so nice, she's so pretty,
Yeah.
she like seems to be really smart. Like
Right.
I feel like I have issues with a lot of especially the younger women who come over
Yes.
who are just like, I'm like, why are you doing this? What
She
like,
doesn't want to be here for
No.
any other reason but him.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I miss home. Like, I want to go home. I love my family. I'm
Family.
scared to be
Yeah.
here. Like, yeah.
yeah, she's like just like so much different than any of the
Yeah,
other
she's like, I didn't know what America was before.
19
she's
year
definitely
olds.
not
who,
an
like-
opportunist. I don't see that.
And
in
I don't
her.
even mind the
I
opportunist.
mean, maybe a bit because she got the boobs, but
I mean, you might as well.
Whatever.
may as well.
If he's so into them, he's always talking about
super
them.
into them. Also, remember, she's very into her body. She works out like crazy.
Yeah.
And she is 19.
She's 19. I mean, that literally, she isn't a full formed person. So
Do you
that
remember
is the
being
only thing
19?
he wants her for?
Right.
I was a weird 19.
I was a weird 19 too. Yeah.
No, but I'm saying like I was an awful 19-year-old.
Oh, okay.
Like I wasn't a good 19-year-old. My brain was not able to make any kind of good decision. And it's like, so she wants boobs. Yeah, I wanted boobs when I was like 12. I wanted boobs. I still want boobs, you know? I'm still waiting.
I hate this. This scene honestly fucking killed me.
Tell me about the dresses though. Did you love them?
So I hated most of the dresses.
I really liked the first one.
Okay.
I thought the first one was really beautiful. I think it was like I liked the open back.
Yeah, the back
thing.
was like super sexy, but like the front was super.
Was frumpy.
It was like weird. It was like business in the front, party in the back.
I loved the back.
It was the mullet of dresses.
Well, so the mom keeps going like when she wants something more age appropriate, and I'm like, for a 19-year-old, do you want her to be naked at her freaking wedding?
Yeah,
do you want her in a onesie?
Like what does age appropriate even mean?
Should she be wearing a prom dress?
Like what? I just don't understand like what the mom wanted, because like actually Fernanda went with like, and I think part of it is like probably coming from like a very Catholic country is like you don't want to look sexy on your wedding day. Like that's a very American thing.
You
like,
could tell Fernanda did not like her putting that on her. Like, you know,
that
like
was mean.
When she was like the dress I liked was the low cut one. And
right. I actually like that too.
And the mom said that, that one's more age appropriate, and Fernanda just kind of side-eyed her and was like, no.
Right.
Because she was just like, no, like you don't get to decide what's appropriate.
But I think that like
even
as someone who I never want to get married. I want to have a wedding though. I just don't want to have to marry someone at the end. Yeah.
You can just throw a wedding.
I want to just do I just want to have a wedding. But I don't want to like at the end of the day like have to live with a man and then like
our families would hate / love us if we got.
Listen, I'm not like opposed to it. I just want to have a wedding, but I think like you imagine yourself in something like a certain dress or a certain type of dress or something. And I think that she is, she has an elegance to her. And I think that that's what she kind of pictured for her wedding. Yeah. And she didn't want anything low cut. And like you said, they're probably very religious.
Yeah.
I assume that like most of her family, like given from like my Catholic side of the family, it's like everyone who got married in a church. And like you would never wear like something low cut like that into like a Catholic mass.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Like,
you shouldn't. I don't love it when people do it. You shouldn't. Also, she has a body and a face that literally she can wear anything.
It'll come out. Yeah.
And she is like, she's stunning in it. She looks like, I got to tell you, my friend Noelle, we were looking for wedding dresses for quite a while. And we went to David's Bridal and I was like, oh, there's not going to be anything here. Yeah. She looks so good in every dress. She would try on the ugliest dresses. And I'm like, I don't even hate it.
I have a friend like that. She literally saw a wedding dress. It was in the like, it was like a consignment shop. Yeah. And she like tried it on. And they didn't even need to do anything on it. She's just like, okay. And she's like gorgeous. And she's just like, okay, this works.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
By herself.
And then it was like, well, do you think this dress is ugly? I'm like, I mean, it is, but it's not now. Like, it looks so nice on you. And I think that with Fernanda, like, what is she going to look bad in?
Yeah. Well, I actually didn't love the low-cut shiny dress just because it was just like, it looked like a prom dress. It's a prom dress.
Like, it's a quinceañera dress. That's what it is.
But I liked that
one.
Right, but it's just a different kind of look.
Yeah.
But she didn't look bad in it.
She didn't look bad. She looked pretty. I didn't like the like weird handkerchief bottom. I was just like, it just like looked like
busy.
It looked like one of those trashy, like, you know, when you are watching Say Yes to the Dress and the trashiest woman from New Jersey walks in and she's like,
I want crystals everywhere.
I want a clear bodice made of crystals. And you're like,
oh, you know what I like when they use that word? Bling. They're like, I want it blinged out.
I just want more bling. I was thinking I'd have more bling at my wedding. Like, and I like that she was like, no. Like, I want the Jackie Kennedy of dresses. Yeah. Like, I want something like modest and beautiful, really and elegant and timeless. And I was like, honestly, that makes me like Fernanda more.
Yeah, I liked her. I actually did. I think that I respected her more. Let's move on to Olga and Steven.
Okay. Ugh, my least favorite couple.
Okay, so he can't figure out how to put the baby in the car seat.
It's okay. All right. As a nanny, that is confusing.
Okay, but maybe can you Google it?
I think
there's two of you. You can't
you know. Okay, the internet.
Did you see how they had the car seat?
The internet in other countries is weird though. It is. Like sometimes it'll be in whatever. Like it depends on if he's trying to use her laptop. Her laptop's
maybe she can Google.
He would have to do Google English.
Okay. Caitlin.
Yes.
They have the car seat in the back seat.
Yeah.
And then they just have a seatbelt over it.
Well, what I heard, it's how it sounded was he had it all set up and then she moved it weird and then he couldn't figure out what she had done.
Don't they okay, now this is American again. In America they show you how to put the car seat in. They make sure that your car seat is strapped
you think
in.
they do that?
I know. I'm really
get a Russia?
Also,
where do they live?
I know they live in the middle of
also,
nowhere.
why don't you just take the baby on a walk in their neighborhood?
Well, because I'll
have
tell
you
you
seen-
why.
Oh my
is
god!
it-
Did you see the playground with like the lazy boy just sitting there?
Oh, I did, but let me tell you why they couldn't take her on it, because they were going to the fancy park.
Which I'm just like,
She
calls
it
keeps saying like
fancy
the
park.
fancy park, and I'm like, it's a baby. You can't like do anything with a baby that size in a park.
No, you
like
can't.
they can't climb. They can't.
I think
like,
that it
dig
probably
in the
was, like-
I think he
sand.
just wanted to go. Like I think he
Maybe
literally
your baby
just wanted
can't
to
dig.
go for a walk with the pram,
Yeah.
like in the park, and he wanted to not be like, oh, we might get shot.
Now remember this: Olga had a C-section. She is still in a ton of pain.
Yeah, C-sections are insano too. The
Yes.
more I read about C-sections, the more I'm
Terrified. I'm terrified
They
of it.
take all
Yeah.
your guts out and then they put it in, and some women
Yeah.
feel like their guts got back in wrong.
Yeah.
My friend liked it. She got a C-section. She said she liked it because she didn't. She said the only thing she needed to recover from was a C-section. So her bottom, like her vagina, was still
No,
fine.
no.
I mean, that's
No,
That's
my vagina is made to shoot out a baby. It's going to go back. I mean, I don't want to have a child, but if I had to, I don't want any kind of surgery if I don't need to. And especially, that's
she's
not.
awake. Like they're cutting her
Oh,
off. She's
nope.
I'm
good.
Yeah.
I mean, we
couldn't.
saw it, guys. We saw
it.
if
There
you
was like a disclaimer on that episode. Like,
traumatized
if you
now.
can't see,
we saw
surgery,
it. So she
like,
said she went through hell and back. So
And they probably just gave her like Tylenol because it's ghetto Russia.
they probably like hit her on the head with a hammer.
They probably did.
She's
they
like
put
she's
a bunch
not
of band-aids
under.
over
Like,
her C-section.
she's not under. So like whatever it
Yeah.
is, she's like freaking awake. Like even if they give her the best pain medication, like you.
Yeah,
are
I
awake
don't.
when
No.
Someone's cutting.
I
into
just
your-
fainted.
I don't know. I can't.
I fainted.
I can't.
So Steven does everything, right? So he gets the groceries.
Except
he cleans
not
he
really.
cleans the house. He gets the baby's acne medication. He literally does everything, and he wants her to thank him constantly.
I hate that so much. I have an ex-boyfriend who does that to me all the time, where he would be like, "You haven't even said thank you." I'm like, "You've literally not given me a chance."
Right.
Like, you just
And
walked
But you didn't
through.
say thank you.
You're the
Goddamn door.
You're this like. I also just think as like
You're the father.
Do you
Do
think-
it,
father.
You're supposed
Like
to be
this
doing
is
it.
part.
Do you thank me all day long for feeding the baby? Or are you like, thank you for feeding my baby?
Yeah.
Thank you for
Oh, is
birthing
your
my
tit out
baby.
again? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
for putting that in my child's mouth.
So he goes down to the drugstore, and I got to tell you, I felt his anxiety on this one because I cannot imagine being somewhere like, I mean, I can't speak Russian. I know you guys are shocked, but I can't speak Russian, and I can't even like a little bit figure out Russian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Spanish, like
No, it's like I
Like,
lived
this
in
is-
Italy. It's and I didn't speak Italian. It's
right. And then you go to the store,
nerve-wracking.
and they're like, you're like, okay, let me buy this thing, but I don't even know what I have in my hand. Like,
Yeah.
we make fun of people. You know how many times that like we've worked at a job or something and interacted with someone who's foreign, and like, "Ugh, you don't know what $5 is," and it's like, no, they don't know what $5 is actually. And you could say it as slow as you want,
Yeah.
and you can say it as loud as you want.
I've done the Steven too, where you just like take out the credit
Yeah,
card.
and I'm like,
But then he doesn't know how much he's spending.
He-
That's the other thing. So it's like
Right.
he's like, I'm just going to give you the credit card.
because
but he literally is
well,
like,
it was
I don't
acne meds.
know.
I mean, what are you going to do? So the baby has baby acne, so he has to get like some kind of lotion, and he just keeps going on and on. Olga doesn't appreciate him. She's not excited to see him. The baby's 2 weeks old.
He's putting too much on her.
She doesn't say thank you.
She's not
She
his mom.
also like the stuff that he does is like the stuff that a dad should do, and like maybe it's because he didn't have a father,
Right, that he doesn't understand.
that
That
he doesn't understand. Like, oh, being a dad isn't just like
Yeah.
being
that's
cool.
also
Like
why-
you have responsibilities.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
That's-
don't. It's not a
I
thank
think that's
you.
also why he thinks she needs to thank him so much, because his father didn't do it, so he's like, I'm doing so much because
Yeah.
I'm doing the
Look at
thing
me,
my
I'm the
father
best.
never did. And he like, I think he just doesn't understand that's because his father was shitty. Like, you're just
But
not-
he knows-
you don't
he-
need to be thanked for not being shitty. You're just not being
right,
shitty.
but
he knows so much that his dad's shitty. He's always talking about how his dad was shitty and how
Right.
his like
Yeah.
dad fought in like their fights. I actually am worried for her safety. Like when they fight, it's not like the
Yeah.
fun type of fight that like some of the other couples do, where you're like, "Ooh, tell him how it is,
Uh-oh.
Larissa. Like you're so funny." Like
No, I think he needs
I'm-
therapy.
Like
You
I'm
think?
worried he's gonna punch her. Like I'm worried he's gonna hit her. I'm worried that like
well,
he'll
he
hit her.
said, "Our son cannot be the main thing. What do you do for me?"
I shouldn't. He said I shouldn't be after the baby, and it's like, no, you're some dude who
Yeah.
she's known for a month. This thing
Okay,
just
also,
came out of her body.
They cut me in half
Yeah.
horizontally
Yeah.
and took a baby out of me I can't.
I think she's very calm for that.
She's super
I would
calm.
kill.
I think she's in a lot
I
of
would
pain.
kick him
I
out
would
of my
be
apartment.
in his face, like I was cut open and they took this
Yeah, but
child out of me.
But she wouldn't even lay with him. He
Also-
said, "Come here and lay with me," and she said no.
Well, she said, "No, you hurt me. Like you hurt me when you do." Like
The other thing is the hormones. Like he doesn't realize she's still coming down for all these friggin'
Right.
hormones. from
So I
pregnancy.
mean, listen, maybe she has postpartum. Maybe she just had a baby and she's in pain. Who
also,
knows?
maybe this is a man she's known for a month, and she just went through one of the like most intense things
Yep.
a woman could go through,
Yeah.
and she loves this baby because it's her own flesh and blood
Right.
more than a random dude who skateboards.
What do you
and
mean?
Yeah,
but he skateboards
but
though.
he's so cool.
skateboarder.
Like,
Get with
have
it,
you
Rosa.
seen him
He's so
on a
hot.
skateboard?
I just like think it's one of those things where I'm like, I actually think the baby should come first.
Yeah.
And like you
Yeah.
work on your relationship, like certainly like while you're there, but like you just put out a tiny thing and like he says at one point, like, my parents never put me first and like
Right, now
she's
he-
not gonna do that.
Yes.
And I'm like, you're not the baby. The
Yes.
baby is the baby.
But he is
all
the
right?
baby.
He is the
But he
baby.
is the baby.
No, the baby's the baby. Shut the fuck up, Steven. I honestly want him to get killed in Russia
Oh
and
my
she
God.
gets a ton of
Oh,
money from
no.
it
Oh, wow.
somehow.
Okay.
Like I hate him so much.
I cannot agree or disagree with that statement legally.
Legally, I'm not saying like
No, I mean you can say whatever you want. I just legally cannot. That's what my people tell me.
all right. Well, listen, I should say it. I just want him to like give her a bunch of money and leave. I don't know.
He should move to China.
He's the fucking worst.
So he
and I hate
walks
him.
out. They're arguing, and he walks out. And you know where he goes? He goes. Caitlin, you were talking about this a little bit before.
Yeah.
He goes to the non-fancy park to do
Yeah.
some thinking. He comes back.
This little lazy boy.
With next to
He
the
lays-
chair in the park. You
Right.
know.
He has more furniture in his park than Colt has in his apartment.
God, yes. But
Olga apologizes for not saying thank you enough, and this is gaslighting at its finest, gives her a chance to change.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Steven.
He is honestly, he's like walking the edge of abusive, and I need someone to
Walking the edge. Where's the edge? He's in it.
He's fucking
He's
abusive.
there.
I'll say
He's there.
he's an abusive dad, and honestly, like I'm so done with him, and I'm just
Yeah.
like let her fucking be. Like leave.
Let her feed the baby.
The
Stop
internet
it.
agrees with you.
Now we're gonna move on to Eric and Leida.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
So her
All right.
first wedding,
Yeah.
let's just throw out some facts. Her first wedding had 2,000 people at it. It was $300,000.
Who are these
Yep.
people?
And she said, we have problems, but we got to plan the wedding. Her last marriage lasted 2 years, but she got Alessandro from it. Her last wedding was in a 5-star hotel.
Sure.
So now Eric's, I think, youngest is watching Alessandro Tennille.
Yeah.
Or maybe oldest. I'm not really
I think
sure.
the oldest,
No,
because the
maybe-
youngest one is like 11. I
The-
feel like she should not be
They've
watching
made her
a
watch
baby.
the
I
baby
think it
before,
was-
though.
Yeah.
Oh, it is the young.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not great.
Well, whatever. It is what it is. I mean,
Sure.
those kids really watch themselves.
Yeah.
So she goes to see the venue. It's a hotel meeting room. It's a meeting room.
It's a meeting room.
I'm going to tell you guys something really private about me. I am a licensed real estate agent.
What?
Yeah, I'm a
Oh
licensed salesperson, and
God.
I
You
took
and Jonathan.
my. Yeah, watch out, Jonathan. I'm coming for it.
Or you and Jonathan get together, you become the real estate
Listen,
partners of the world.
All I'm saying is I'm not planning to move to Lumberton, North Carolina.
He's
And I took my real estate classes in something very similar to this exact hotel meeting room.
Oh, okay.
Because that's where a lot of real estate classes are, in hotel meeting rooms. And I
You wouldn't
bet
think
you
just like in an
And
empty house.
while you were there, did you think, what this would be good for? A wedding.
a wedding. And people, this is what people do. So they set up tables and some folding chairs, and there's a podium in front, and that's how you do real estate classes. A lot of times they're in
Or a
hotel
wedding.
conference rooms. So here we are, Eric and Leida come in. They're going to have this beautiful wedding in
Beautiful in quotes.
right. Also, again,
Yeah.
it's just a little theme that's going through this: cash bar.
Cash bar.
Cash bar.
Cash bar.
Honestly, don't have a if you're
Don't have a wedding if
Don't
you're
have a
having
wedding.
a
If
cash
you're
bar.
Just don't have a wedding.
you could
Have
have
it in
a
someone's
signature
backyard.
cocktail. Like
Right,
Like
exactly.
you can have like
Yeah.
or like a beer and a wine and a signature cocktail.
I think that's perfect.
That's fine. It doesn't
'Cause
need to
I don't
be
really
a
drink.
full. It doesn't need to be a full
25
bar.
people. Why not just have a sit down brunch? I don't know.
Yeah.
25.
Wait, was it only 25 people? Or
25 people.
25 people. Why
What-
do you need a
Wait, that's
hotel
really
conference
it? I
room for
missed
25
that.
people?
Oh no, it's 25
That's
people.
insane.
What is
You
Eric
could have
wearing?
this
Do
at
you
a
do you
fancy
see?
restaurant?
Yeah.
Like-
you could just have it at a restaurant. Do you see Eric's outfit?
Yes.
What's going on here?
I assumed it was like they wanted to match, and it's Indonesian silk or something.
Okay, all right.
I don't know what it is. It's ugly.
Noticed.
It's very ugly.
So she said that her family isn't coming because they disapprove of the wedding. Or do you think that her family's not coming because they already had an Indonesian ceremony?
I don't think.
In Indonesia. If her family disapproves so much, why the hell did they fly into JFK, drive 14 hours to Wisconsin to see a 2-bedroom apartment, and then drive back 14 hours to Wisconsin, fly back from JFK?
Yeah.
Like, really, why were they there? They couldn't have Skyped?
Also, I don't
What's
understand.
the deal?
If they're so rich in Indonesia, why couldn't they do a destination one? Like, do the courthouse before the 90 days in America, and then
because
do a destination wedding on a beach.
Too.
Eric is showing her family that he can take care of this. Do you think that her family maybe doesn't want to come because they don't want to fly back into JFK and then drive another 15 hours to Baraboo, Wisconsin?
Fly into like Madison.
No one knows.
I hope they spent time in New York City after.
Well, here's the thing. The crazier thing is, it's like we're going to show her New York City because they've
From
never
the
been
highway.
to America. And then he has them stay in Pennsylvania, where I was
in
like,
a cabin.
In a cabin. And I was like,
he's like, look at New York real quick from the window. Bye.
we're staying on the East Coast.
Like they could have
Doesn't
done
even
that
drive
with an
through
iPad.
Times Square. I would have at least driven you through Times Square.
Or just like stay in New York. He's like, New York's too expensive to stay in. I'm like,
or even look at
It's really not that.
or stay in then like Jersey.
Okay,
and then
but why
drive
are they
back
flying
into
into
the city.
JFK? Is
Why are they
JFK
flying
the
to
closest
JFK?
airport to Baraboo, Wisconsin?
No.
No.
Is it like, you know
Chicago
how like
O'Hare, certainly,
when
if
you-
not Madison.
when you book a flight, see, we're from New York City. When we book a flight, a lot of times it will suggest Newark.
Yeah.
Or JFK, LaGuardia, or Newark. Those are usually our airports, and they're considered New York City airports.
Yeah.
I have not seen any kind of Baraboo, Wisconsin ever suggested to me. But you know what? Maybe next time someone comes to visit me, I could fly them into Baraboo, and
Yeah.
then I'll go pick them up. It's real close.
That was
So-
the craziest thing. I'm so mad about
that. Was the craziest thing. The florist.
Oh.
We have a budget. Are you ready? Lay down, ladies. Lay down.
$400.
$400.
Which, hey,
That's like 4
That's actually-
good bouquets. That's it. That's
No, that's fine.
that's fine.
If that's what you want. She expects something extravagant.
Grand.
She wants centerpieces the size of her.
Yeah.
She's having 25 people
I love
in
that
a
this
meeting
florist
room.
was also like, oh, I mean, we could do that. No, you couldn't. You do not know how to do that.
You don't even have
arrangement.
flowers like that in Wisconsin.
You don't have flowers. She was like, what?
She's like, we have white
Ooh.
roses and daisies, and we also have dandelions.
Yeah.
Here's the
you,
thing.
You have baby
But
craft.
imagine,
That's what you have.
because they raise the he concedes and raises the price to $800.
Yeah.
But the crazy
Eric double. No, wait.
Doubles.
Excuse
Doubles.
me. Eric doubles the budget.
400.
doubles the
I mean,
budget.
if you're doubling from $20, it's really not that.
But here's
Doubles
the thing.
the budget.
Imagine if he did go all the way out and so they could get those crazy centerpieces, and then imagine those crazy centerpieces in this hotel meeting room.
Right. It's not. It's right.
Why?
Exactly. $400 is perfect. Honestly, if I were her, I would have gone to maybe Walmart, gotten a few bouquets of flowers, and called it a day. At that point, when you're having a budget wedding with 25 people in a Holiday Inn,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Why don't you even do it just in a church?
Right.
At least that's looks like a place a wedding is
Sure.
at.
None of this makes sense.
None of it makes sense, but
And
I'll
it's
tell you
probably
what.
cheaper.
I'll tell you what does make sense.
Yeah.
So what happened is they have a twin box spring.
Okay.
That they've put, I'm assuming, Tasha's futon mattress
Yeah.
pad on top of.
Oh, maybe.
And then they have a twin mattress on the floor, and that is where Alessandro sleeps,
Yeah.
all in the same room. Listen, the same room thing is fine.
That's fine.
Unless you want to get to know your new wife.
Right, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, for in the meantime,
Yeah,
if
okay,
you only
yeah,
have the one room, that's
Wait,
fine.
Can I do my rant about this? Because this is exactly what I have my rant
Please.
about. Okay.
Please.
First of all, Eric looks like he hasn't slept since he was 20. which
Never
is
slept. He never slept not one
which
time.
is clearly 40 years ago because he is old as shit.
He's at least 60 years
so
old.
He's 43
and you
years
know
old.
what? Honestly, I'm not surprised considering that he has been sleeping on this twin bed with her. He must be tired.
He looks
there is
like he's tired.
No way that he's getting any sleep.
That's the explanation.
He's
There we
not
go.
getting any sleep. And then the other thing is, of course, he had to go on the Asian website to get somebody because nobody else was fitting in that freaking bed with him.
He was like, I need to find the smallest
Could you imagine
human.
Kalani sleeping in that bed with him? She would be half off the bed.
Okay, but how does he even sleep in the bed
Here's
with
the thing.
anyone?
I don't
It doesn't
know.
even matter for me. If I went into a man's room and he had a twin bed,
you would turn around and leave.
He could look like Brad Pitt. I would look at that and be like, oh, this is not an adult. This is a child. I cannot have sex with a child. And I would walk right on out that door.
Right. I'd be like, can we have sex in the real bed?
Like, whose bed is this? Is it shaped like a race car? Like, I don't understand what the deal is with that.
Well, I'll tell you what the deal is, and let me explain it to you, ladies, okay? Yeah. So he has what he likes to call, and this is a quote, a simplistic lifestyle. So he likes to sleep on a box spring with some hay on it.
So I thought
he's cheap.
Why he has the mattress topper on the box spring is he took the mattress off to be the mattress on the floor.
Yes, that's exactly why.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, you knew that you had a woman and a small child coming.
What do you think? He knew? He wasn't just like blindsided when these people rang his bell and was like, I come live with you now.
Yeah,
he knew.
Buy a blow up mattress.
Buy a blow up mattress.
Like, at least just for the interim.
I mean, he had the blow up couch.
He had the blow up couch. Now, do you know about like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, right?
Yeah.
You can buy like even a used mattress.
I mean, he was willing to drive all the way to New York City. He could have gone to IKEA. We got an IKEA here.
We have IKEA.
While he was here, he could have gone to the
but
IKEA.
you know what he didn't do?
Wayfair delivers to Wisconsin, I assume.
Guess what? He did not go to IKEA. Instead, he went to, are you ready? The Century House, Scandinavian custom luxury mid-century furniture.
No sense.
Okay.
Scandinavian, go straight on over to that IKEA.
No. She wants. He's gonna take her furniture shopping to a fancy store. They needed to get a couch and a bed, right?
The two most expensive types of furniture.
So the made-to-order couch was $2,530, and then the bed set was $7,000.
Insane. That's insane.
Do you think, let's really talk about this
Okay.
though. Do you think that the producers send them to these places to get them in a fight?
I absolutely do.
I assume, because I don't know much about Baraboo, Wisconsin, but
Right.
I don't believe that most people have custom made Scandinavian furniture.
I'm going to say no.
Also, it might have been the only place that was willing to have a camera crew.
Okay. Ooh,
That
is.
could be restrictive to that.
She needed to go to Bob. She needed to go to IKEA. She
You
needed
could
to go to
also
the
do it
sidewalk.
online.
Maybe IKEA wouldn't let them.
A curb
film.
sale.
Yeah. But like, do
A
it
curb
online
sale,
then.
that would be good.
You just have to
Same.
blur out the IKEA. Just have them order it online.
I don't. No, I think you need to have approval to have the whole.
Yeah, but
crew.
she's saying if you
if you don't
order
say
it
the
online.
name.
if you order it online.
If you order it online, delivery is $100
Oh, yeah,
at
that's
IKEA.
true.
He wants her to snap out of this luxury life that she had in Indonesia. And I got to tell you, I know that obviously in other episodes, which we won't discuss yet, Leida shows that she is the devil. She's Satan embodied.
Yeah.
But right now, she's not showing this. All I'm seeing right now is someone who is tired and wants a bed.
I think the man owes her a friggin' bed.
She has no bed. He's like, you better leave that luxury lifestyle. That luxury lifestyle when you slept on a bed?
You frou-frou lady with
Who
your
are
bed.
you? You slept on a
See,
bed.
this is my big
guys have
issue
money.
with all of the men. And like, you know that
Yep.
meme, like men really live in apartments that look like this?
Yeah.
It's just like
And
a
it's-
can of
yeah,
beans
yeah.
on the floor.
Yeah.
These men truly
That's what they
believe
do.
this is okay. And it's like,
Yeah. And I think he also keeps blaming Leida for like, well, you just had such a great fancy life when you were in Indonesia. I don't think
Like a room
I don't
for
think
your
that
son
excuses
and a
that you don't have these
couch.
things for her. And also, the other thing I was going to say, because I do have a theory
Tell
about Leida and why she wants to be here.
Why? Because I can't figure it
So
out.
here's what she said early on. She said that she has a medical degree, right?
Right, but it's like a...
But
nah.
she's not going to make as much with her medical degree in Indonesia as she would here. But you can't go and get the other classes you need in order to actually be a doctor here unless you're here. I think unless you're here legally.
So she wants... Okay, but
Like,
I don't
I think that's
understand
what it
why
is.
she... Okay, I get what you're saying,
Okay.
and I kind of understand that, but at the same time, she does not seem very ambitious.
she could come over on a student visa too.
But
Like,
I wonder if she couldn't get one. I wonder if she tried.
Right.
And for some reason she couldn't
also
get
she has
it.
to bring her son, remember?
But here's the thing. If you come,
Yeah, she has to
so
bring the son.
it's really, really, really
she needs someone
hard
to
to
take care of the
become.
son.
You have to actually do med school. It's not extra classes. If you come from an
Yeah, you have to do
you
med
have to do
school.
med
Right.
school all over
Yeah,
again.
but I think that's her dream.
Yeah,
I think that's what she
her,
wants to do.
I'm shocked that that's her dream because she has no compassion.
Yeah.
She does not seem very intelligent, and she does not seem like a go-getter. She seems like someone that lives off of her parents.
Yeah.
And if I were her, to be honest with you, I just keep living off my parents.
Yeah, I really
Just
think she
live in-
should.
If you're from a wealthy family, like, why don't you stay? Like, At least
stay there.
Yeah.
Stay there.
I feel like she like said something about like a better life for her son, but I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, I think he has his own bed.
I've been to Indonesia. It's not bad.
He has his own room.
You think he has his own bed in Indonesia?
He definitely has
or
his
you
own
think
bed.
he sleeps on hay on the floor, some straw?
Do you think he may even have a full room in
Get out of here.
Indonesia?
Stop
my
it.
God.
Now you're talking crazy.
That's that
Children
luxury
can't
lifestyle.
have rooms to themselves.
No, not to themselves.
Insane.
That's disgusting. Let's talk about Kalani and Asuelo.
Okay.
So they're in Utah, and she misses California. She moved to Utah because she had
seemingly no reason
to live in her parents' vacation house that her brother lives in, which is a strange thing for me. You couldn't just get an apartment in California and maybe get a part-time job?
She says that she quit her job right before he came.
Yeah, so he could spend time with her.
Sure.
Don't do that.
That just seems like I mean,
if she has enough money, I think
she doesn't have enough money because she doesn't have enough money to live.
Oh, I guess
so she has
that's
to
true.
go live in Utah
for free rent.
Yeah, with her brother, which is weird. And I think they live in the basement.
I would live with my brother. I had a joint bank account with my brother for a while.
Wow.
I know. I feel like you guys are talking.
How old's your brother?
He's like my age.
But we don't. You guys are close. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we don't have parents, so.
Okay, so you guys were like together.
Yeah, no. So like,
a team.
I didn't
mean together. Like together.
Yeah, our phone bills together. We were gonna buy a car together.
Okay.
So it was like,
does he live here, your brother?
Yeah, he lives in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. So I mean that's a little bit different.
Yeah, we don't anymore, but like I think there's times that call for
to be
it.
Fair,
like my
like
brothers
if
have lived
my
together.
sister got knocked up from another from a guy with another country, needed somewhere to stay, like had a baby,
would you put it in the basement?
No, but she would 100% be able to live with me.
Yeah,
like
it's not about
like
able
I
to
would
live.
do it.
It's that she wanted to be like with him and like be a family together, and they're just like in her brother's basement.
I think they don't have any
very
other
far,
option, though.
very far away. They do have an option: get a part-time job, get an apartment.
No, you're right.
Well, she has a really small baby. I can understand not wanting to go to work. Like
I guess,
yeah.
I get that. Like but it just seems.
It's also she's not living with her brother. She's living in her parents' house that her brother.
Sure.
Yeah, it seems like her brother is also just a screw up. Like that whole family seems like
they seem like they have enabled those children too much,
Yes.
and the sister is way too close with her. Like that's a weird relationship.
Well,
that's a weird relationship.
I actually think I'm okay with like this. Like I understand sisters being close. I have 2 sisters. Like I get that. That's not weird.
No, I don't. See, I don't have any sisters, so
I don't have any sisters either.
It's something that I don't understand. But I get what you're saying.
I just don't like Kalani's sister because she's like I hate him and I'm never gonna like him and I'm never gonna do anything and
she's
I hate
a snot.
him. And I'm just like,
she's
okay, girl. Also, can we talk about the elephant in the room here? Kalani is 30 years
she is?
old.
No, okay,
she oh my god. She lost her virginity at 30 bareback to a man in another country. Like what was happening with her?
I do not believe that. I don't think she lost her virginity to him. I think she just was
says
drunk.
that. Yeah,
I think she was drunk. I think she had already been telling her parents that she was a virgin.
That's
for
so
a
weird because
long
I still
time.
haven't lost my virginity.
Yeah, me
according to
either.
my family. I mean, as far as they know.
I think my
But then when she got but when she got pregnant, cat's out of the friggin' bag, she had to say,
she was like, "Oh my god, it was one time."
I had no idea. That was the first time I've ever had sex.
Yeah, I didn't know that's where babies came from.
I understand that they're Mormons, but there's something very weird about
very, very strange. So they're going wedding dress shopping, right? Oh god. And she's like, I literally have nothing planned. Nothing.
Why is the dress the first thing?
Okay, so the dress is the first thing, and not only is the dress the first thing, I don't know if you girls peep this, but they get there and they're like, oh, look, we have some dresses over here. And all of a sudden the camera zooms into the size 18 on the dress.
Oh, really? No, I didn't.
And I was like, oh, that was rude.
That's rude as hell.
So she doesn't want to marry him. That's the
dress
problem
shop
here.
person looks so awkward during this whole
Yeah,
exchange.
she doesn't want to marry him.
She's like, even when she's inside the wedding dress, she's like, I don't even know if
she's like, I hate him so much.
Yeah.
Now she's Mormon, and I've seen Mormon weddings, and I've seen Mormon wedding dresses, and they're very conservative. Sometimes they're even long sleeved.
Yeah.
She has an off the shoulder dress for a Mormon wedding. I'm confused.
That was a little
maybe they're not very religious, but
I
then
think
why
they
was
might
she
not
a
be.
virgin the whole time?
Because she
Like,
wasn't a virgin.
She wasn't
I
a
know,
virgin.
but like, why does her parents expect her? Like, if they're not that religious, that they don't
Have
need.
you seen her father with his crazy bug eyes. If your father asked you, have you had sex?
I'd be like, what's a penis?
Exactly. She's terrified of that man.
I'm playing
that
with
man
Barbie
is a
doll.
little terrifying too, because he's always seems like he's about to yell.
Yeah.
I think it's his bug eyes.
He always seems like he's
a
about
crazy
to
person.
stab someone.
I also love that he's like, I don't want you to be with a man like my people. And he's like, what
Yeah.
a strange.
I can't with him.
Go self-hate somewhere
too
else.
much.
I'm like,
So now
okay.
she can't commit. Apparently the problem is that Kalani cannot commit, and they go to lunch with her sister and
Is
Asuelo.
that really the issue?
Apparently that's the issue, is that she
I
doesn't
don't-
like to commit. That's what they say.
I guess. But they're like, they do that weird little shoehorn thing. Like, she can't commit to a dress. She can't commit to a man. And I'm like, I hate this. I hate
anything.
It was very rehearsed.
it. Was so stupid.
So they go there. So now the baby's 6 months old, just for like a little bit of perspective. The baby's 6 months old, and the sister goes, now this is a quote, she said, "Did you like that she's American?" She asked Asuelo. And he said, "When I was little, I dreamed about leaving Samoa." Oh dear. Maybe you should not have said that. Oh dear.
Yeah.
He dreamed about it.
I think they set that one up too, though.
I
don't think he really come on.
I also
don't know.
my issue with when they gang up on Asuelo, especially because I
feel
think there's
bad.
a range of how good you are at speaking English
Yeah.
in these ones.
Yeah.
And like some of them, it doesn't matter because they both speak the language. Like
Sure.
Fernanda could not speak a lick of English and it would be fine because like her husband speaks Spanish. So it's
Sure.
like,
Right.
it doesn't really matter. She has pretty good
Right.
English, but like there's a range.
How cute is it when Jonathan speaks
Oh,
Spanish?
it's so cute. Honestly.
cute or hot.
Oh,
It's so
I
cute
love
when they're
him.
anyway. But like
I'll kill my boyfriend right now and be with him. What?
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 Rosa.
What?
Why did
Why would you say that?
Asuelo really concerns me that he doesn't speak a ton. Like his English feels like the most labored of anyone on the show in a
Yeah.
long time.
Okay, but I'll tell you this, and we make fun, but if I was in SMWA,
Mwah. You mean?
someone left a nasty iTunes review
Oh, I know. I saw it.
because we make fun of how they say SMWA.
Mwah.
I mean, they probably do say it
they
right, but still.
yeah, no, I mean they
still
say that we're
funny.
racist. I mean, maybe.
At first, I thought he was from San Juan.
Wait,
For like a long time, I was like,
adjacent.
Hello, I had to
That's what she
Google
said.
it. I had to Google it. I was like, that doesn't look like Puerto Rico, and I'm like, wait a
Yeah.
minute.
also,
He
why
could-
would a Puerto
he
Rican?
could come here.
At first, I was like, if he's Puerto, then I thought they just met, like that he is Samoan, but they
Right.
met
In San Juan?
Puerto Rico,
Totally.
and then I was like, wait, then he already has a worker's visa.
Oh,
Like,
totally.
Anyway, it's fine.
Let me
I
tell you.
was
So
being
this is the thing.
an idiot.
I do not like Kalani and Kalani, right? I don't like them.
Kalani.
But the funniest thing between the two of them, when they do the wide eyes and look at each other, it makes me laugh so hard because I'm like, this is like that's something that like me and my friends would do.
Yeah.
It's like they give that knowing glance, and I feel like it's just such like a familiar, sarcastic, hilarious look.
Yeah.
And they have the same like wide-eyed look. I'm like, this is perfect. So he said that he knows that she has a lot of money. He's literally digging himself in a hole right now, and I understand that there might be
Yeah.
like some kind of language
I
barrier.
think he's a little tongue in cheek. Like I think he tries to anticipate what it is that they're trying to say about him, and then he'll say it. And he'll
Maybe.
be like, "Oh yes, you think that I want money? I want American money. I want to come to America
Right.
for all the." And then like he kind of digs himself a hole because he's kind of like, "Yeah, that's exactly what they think. Why are you saying
Right.
it out loud so that they can
I think he's funny in his
I think
own
he is
language.
funny.
No, he is funny.
I think he's a man. No, but I think like in his own language,
Yeah.
he's like actually very, very
He's a
funny
silly
and
goose.
hysterical.
Yeah.
And I think it translates very strangely.
Right.
Like,
well,
I
that's
think-
what I was saying too. Like if I was in SMWA and
If you were in
I
the
was trying
desolation of Smaug.
right, and I was trying to speak SMWA, like I would not do very well. So it's like I can't even make fun of people who can't speak English well because he speaks better English than I could ever learn a different language.
I'm not here to make fun of him. I'm just more here to ask, does she speak his native? Like, because
Oh, right, like how do they really communicate?
Like how
She
they
does not.
they never do it, and I feel like it would have been said. But like her
I don't-
dad is from Samoa.
No,
like,
he definitely did not teach them.
No.
like he doesn't.
He hates
seems
himself.
His self-hatred seems like he didn't teach them how to like speak any. Also, there's like a lot of different tribal languages in like most small island
sure.
communities. So like they could also be not
Also,
from the
if
same
he really
even
wanted, if
language.
his big dream was to move to America, I think he would have known English better.
I don't know. I mean, I think that listen, you're chasing pigs around. Yeah. You're in the middle of like the jungle.
Yeah, I don't know who's
like who's he learning
Is it
from?
A Rosetta Stone? How do you like,
right? Do you think that like on the subways in Smois they have like ads for you speak English now?
He was the activities director at a hotel. Like he's not.
I think that's where he learns his English.
I think, but I also think that he's not as like backcountry as they make him out to be.
Well, he also brought something else up. He said that when two families, one that's not Samoan and one that is Samoan, when they marry each other, they don't really interact with each other. He's saying that like different cultures don't generally accept each other's family. And she's like, no, it's not that I don't like your family. It's that your brother said to me about me, when you're done with her, I want to turn with her.
Which I would have.
She's like, I did not like that.
Well, we don't see that like on camera.
Sure, but she's telling you about this instance, and it's like
he doesn't argue with her about it.
He
right.
Say it's not.
So also she said
about like how that went down or how that came up because her brother, when he first met,
right.
said something super freaking inappropriate too.
Which is why I think she should have given his brother a pass. But I would have still flipped out.
Right, but I mean his brother wants to fuck her.
I just want to see. I want to see how that because we didn't see it on the show.
I
want to see.
Would have been like, I literally have the same thing with a different letter. It's called Kalani.
I got a sister.
You can just have her.
She's cuter.
She's definitely cuter. I mean, maybe she's a bad underbite, but that's.
I have like jokey. I feel like they have like jokey, gross brothers, but both of them have jokey, gross brothers.
Right.
So why wouldn't this be something that we could be like, hey, your brother said something messed up, and she could be like, oh, remember when my brother said something messed up, and they could stand like. Both of your brothers say gross.
Right.
Both of your Samoan brothers say disgusting things.
Right.
How is this not something that you could maybe
like why
bond
all
over?
of a sudden?
Like,
I'm not sure, but she says that she took the baby when the baby was like 2 months old. She took the baby to Samoa.
My baby. She keeps referring to it as my baby.
Well, that's her baby.
Baby.
But she took him to Samoa to see his family.
Yeah, she's right. She
really did do something nice. Also, like you make it like she makes it like he's like never seen this baby. Like he was gone for so. The baby's only 6 months old now.
Yeah,
he was trying to come over too. Like it wasn't like. He could have come over any time in those 6 months, and then
more importantly, did he get 2 meals at the restaurant?
Oh, I know, I saw that too.
Because he had a full brunch and then a burger on the side.
I think he did get. Yeah, I think he got.
And then he storms out, and it doesn't touch that burger if that's his burger.
And I was like, why didn't you eat your burger before you left?
Unless it's a burger to share for the table.
The table burger? The infamous table burger.
Just like a little burger for the table.
I wish there was a table burger right now because I'm so hungry. Guys, this has been an amazing episode. You can follow me at Trixie Tuzini, TrixieTuzzini on Instagram and Twitter. And you can follow the podcast at 90 Day Podcast on Instagram. Join our group, 90 Day Fiancé Trash Talk Podcast on Facebook. And we will have a lot more coming out. Rosa, thank you so much for being here. Do you want to just remind everyone what your Instagram is?
Yeah, it's at Human Comedian. DM me some photos of your couches. If you're a man with a couch, let me see that couch.
Oh, damn. You're really asking for couch pics right now?
I'm just going to be like, ooh,
that's
do you
hot.
Own a couch?
Forward them to me. Caitlin, remind everyone where they can find you.
It's Caitlin Ruppert. You can only slide into my DMs if you're Jonathan. No, I'm just kidding. I'll start trouble with that.
Just kidding, but not kidding.
Not kidding.
Kidding if you're kidding.
Not kidding.
She'll fight you. Fernanda will fight you.
Guys, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next episode. Bye.